we go. All right. Good evening. Good evening. How is everybody tonight? I hope everybody is doing well. So here we are. It is Sunday. Man, the time just freaking flies. It is amazing how fast the time is going. Absolutely crazy. So, anyway, so I hope you all had a good weekend and we can finish it off with a nice chat here on Sunday night, which will be a good way to end the weekend. We're going to be talking about, and when I said 20 million Americans, I meant 20 million customers, is what I actually meant. So when you have 20 million customers and an average of 4 to 5 people per household, that number ends up being a lot more. So, but we will. Aerosmith is not until Thursday. I'm going to be going to Aerosmith on Thursday. So that is when I'm going to that. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun, and so it should be a good time. But anyway, so we're going to be getting into that in just a moment. But before we do, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. And if you cannot abide by those really simple, easy rules, those awesome people that you see lit up in blue, we'll boot you out of here because we're not going to deal with that. We're going to have a good chat. I got to tell you, and I know it's happening across the board with YouTube, but they are really just hammering people, really bad. It is amazing. 4 months in a row, and just I'm not a oh poor me, I'm a victim. I am not doing that. I'm just letting you guys know. 4 months in a row, my income has gone less and less. So yeah, it makes it very interesting with YouTube. That's for sure. It is a trip. And the way that they do that is they don't put your notifications out there. They continue for okay. So I'll give you an example. I went so way back. I was hammering along. The channel was growing like absolute crazy. Yeah, and the bills go up and up exactly. Um, and I was averaging like 100 new subscribers a day. I mean, it was crazy. And then all of a sudden, like that, YouTube put the brakes on that, and it slowed it way down. So then it took forever to go from 75,000 to 100,000 subscribers, right? Well, that last 7 8,000 subscribers went again pretty quick, and so I got to that 100,000 mark, and I'm at 107,000 now. But if you guys have been paying attention, I've been at 107,000 for about 4 months now, because they continue. My high mark, I'll give you an example. My high mark was 107,351 subscribers. Since that point in time, it's fluctuated back and forth. I've never hit that 351 again. And right now, I think I'm at 224. It's just a game that they play. They try to, again, discourage people, make people give up, make people quit. And a lot of people have done so. A lot of people have done so. And it's like, it's got to, and what I don't understand about that, content creators like myself and other ones out there, they're making them money. They make them money. And it doesn't, you know, it doesn't make any kind of sense. It makes no kind of sense. To bite the hand that feeds you. I just really don't understand it. But it's what we got to deal with, and so I will continue to deal with it. I want to continue, obviously, to share, what I'm doing in West Virginia. What's happening here in New York as well. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. If I worst case scenario, if I have to, I will go back to work part time and just cut back on my content a little bit, and that's it. But like I said, just games that are played. But you know what? The porn bots are strong. I'm constantly having to go in there and delete them. JJ does the same thing for me. He goes in there. If he sees them, he gets rid of them. On my end, I don't know if JJ can block them. I think he might be able to as a moderator for me. But I go in and I block them and do that type of stuff. It's crazy. So that's what's happening with. I just just sharing information with you guys because you probably don't know. But it is irritating. It is definitely irritating. But it's just part of the game that we got to deal with. Morning Light did get both responses from me. Ed started and cut the first one. Okay. All right. Cool. Very cool. So, and you get bad connections too. Thank you, YouTube. Yeah. Well, like now in New York, it's better because I have the fiber optic up here. I mean, literally in New York, guys, when I upload, I'll give you an example. When I upload a video in New York, by the time I'm done writing the stuff out that I have to write out and the steps that they make you go through, uh, the video's up and ready to go. So then I have to just put the time in and stuff like that. Now, if I'm down in West Virginia, I'm looking at anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours, possibly longer, for a video to go up. So it really, it's a huge difference, and it's really monotonous down there. So, but but anyway, so that's just it's a part, and then of course the connection down there when I do the live stream is not going to be as good. So I'm going to see if there's something that I can do differently with that. I'm hoping that there is, but yeah, I've already signed up for Starlink Pet Prep Radio Show for West Virginia, and what they said for my area when I signed up, which was a few months back, I'll have to go back in my email and look, but they were like it could take a year before that's available in my area in West Virginia. So yeah, so that's it's just part of once they get that in there, hopefully that'll increase that and it'll be better. So but anyway, all right. So let's talk about this with the electricity stuff. I mean this and I think a lot of people realize it, they're dealing with it. Probably not a topic that they're going to discuss with their neighbors. All right. But right now, 20 million customers are behind on their energy bills, and that's 1 in 6 homes are behind on their energy bills. So if you live on a street, of 18 people, let's say, 3 of those 18 are behind on their energy bills, which means at some point the energy company is not real forgiving. If you guys have dealt with that before, my ex-brother-in-law, he actually works for the power company. He's the guy that goes around and shuts you off. So if you haven't paid your bill, and it's funny because I haven't talked to him in quite a while because obviously me and my ex-wife are now divorced, but he he had a guy with him constantly. Had to have a guy with him that was like his lookout bodyguard type of guy, while he went up the pole and shut these people off because people would go absolutely bananas, and so that's what happens. My bill was 460 this month. They were 2 months ago 160 to 180. Wow, Jessica, that's crazy. Well, I'm going to tell you what one of the problems here. Natural gas. 1 year ago, natural gas cost 431 per BTU. Okay. Now natural gas is at 934 per BTU. That's more than 100% increase year over year. Okay. Just and it seems I pay my bills, not much left. It stinks. Yeah, I believe it, Richard. I absolutely believe it. It's we're gonna talk about this more. But just in July, there was a 15.2% increase with for so over in from year over year. So from the year before to July and this July, just in that month of July, a 15.2% increase. That's the biggest jump in 1 month since 2006. All right. So if you can't tell me that they're setting this thing up to screw people big time, big time. It is insanity what these prices are doing, and we're not even into winter yet. And that's the other thing you got to think about. Now, energy costs are ridiculously high in general, And then, they're always lobbying for more of an increase, and stuff like that. So what people need to, what it's going to come down to realistically, it's going to be power bill or food bill, because they're both out of control and people got to eat, right? But let's talk about what happens. Let's talk. So 1 in 6 households are behind on their gas and electric bill. So at some point, they're going to shut you off because they don't care. They don't care. So if you think that, oh, well, they'll show compassion and they'll be helpful, no, they won't, because they don't care. Oh yeah, we're not even talking about gasoline too on top of that. Yeah. So, you got your factors. You have your energy costs for your propane, your natural gas, your heating oil, your gasoline cost. It's just I'll give you a great example of something. Okay. So in the town that we're close to here, on the homestead, they lowered it, and they had the balloon festival had come in, and so gas was at 3.99, and that was down from like 4.13 like 2 days ago, and all of a sudden it drops to 3.99. Now the one gas station that never dropped, they were still at 4.23. But there is another gas station in the next town over, and so we had. I don't know if you guys saw, there was a bunch of empty gas cans over by the generator. So I had said to Heather, "We got to go. We got to get these gas cans filled up. Got to get them filled up." I said, There's no way you guys, meaning Becky and Heather, should be allowing that many gas cans to be empty, because, of course, me in the prepper mindset, my if my thought is always, SHTF happens and I'm sitting there with 8 empty 5-gallon cans of gasoline, I'm going to lose my mind. One, I can deal with that, but not 8. Okay. So we had 8 cans of gasoline that we had to fill up today. All right. And so we went to the gas station, and so we filled up the 8. So stop. Yes, I see you. I know. I love you. But I'm trying to do a stream. So we had to fill up those 8 cans of gasoline. Plus, I had to top off the truck because I was down to half a tank, and I don't ever like to be down to half a tank. I don't care. I'm doing the live stream. Well, come on up and say hi to everybody. Come on. You're going to be a snapbag. Come up and say hi. God, you're worse than a child. You're worse than my child for neediness. Well, you are my child. Yes, I know. You're a good girl. I know. I love you. Yes, I know. Stop. Okay, that's very nice. I appreciate the love. I know. Yes. All right, now you got to get down. You're distracting me. All right. All right. Well, she'll be back running in West Virginia soon enough. So anyway, oh my God, this dog is enough. Go on now. Go lay down. No, I don't care. Go lay down. So, like I'm telling you, that is the neediest child that I have ever had in my life. As far as it comes to, she is, God, she is something else. She is. I love that dog to death. I'll be honest with you. I've had a lot of animals in my lifetime, and my favorite cat of all time, his name was Ben. He was the coolest cat. I had him for 15 years before he passed away. She is my favorite dog of all time. She's my favorite dog of all time. So anyway, all right, let me go back to my story here. So we had 8 gas cans to fill up, plus I had to fill up the truck. And Ed, you're filling the gas cans, so who's emptying them? Well, Becky and Heather are emptying them. So, but Heather stepped up and she did her part today, as far as paying to refill these gas cans. So I'm going to definitely give her credit. I had a talk with them both and said, listen, you guys are the one using this gas. It's not up to me. Now, I'm going to tell you what, if my income was what it normally was, I have no problem filling up the gas cans because I don't care. But it's not. So that's why we had to have this discussion. Like, you guys got to step up here, because the money's not coming in like it was before. And that's why there's not a ton of progress, with everything that I'm doing project wise because the money's not there, you know. So you can only do with what you have, and that's part of the problem. But anyhow, so we went to this other town because Heather had heard through work that the gas was much cheaper in this other town. So it's 5 miles further down the road. Stop, I don't care. Stop it. No, no, no. Stop. Um, So we went to this other town, and the gas in the other town was 3.37 a gallon at this gas station. And I'm going to tell you what, this gas station was jammed. I mean, jammed. Everybody. So here we are filling up all our gas cans. There's a couple cars over, is another truck, and they have the same. I mean, I think they actually had more gas cans. I think he said they had 11 gas cans that they were filling up because it was that much cheaper. We actually, by going one town over, 5 miles out of our way, I figured it out. The difference was 69 cents a gallon. We ended up we saved $42 and like 78 cents by using just going to that next town over, which is a huge difference, gas wise. So that was a good call. And Heather made that call. She said, "Dad, we got to go over here because the gas at this gas station is that much cheaper." And I'm like, "Well, how much though?" And she's like, "They're saying 3.37." And I was like, "I'm in." And the sad part, I want you to think about this, guys. I was excited to pay 3.37 a gallon for gas when we've been paying like ridiculously so much more. Um, it's just it's sickening that we're not back to where we should be at like $2 a gallon. The oil companies are making a fortune. They're making a fortune. And if you don't think that it's being done deliberately to screw the American people, it absolutely is. So I don't even want to, when gasoline costs more, when all these other things cost more, everything else goes up in price as well. Obviously, food is a big part of that as well. So, they raise you up to $5 a gallon and they bring it back down. And then they say, like, congratulations, look at we've saved you all this money. That's crap. They're not. Get it back to where it was. You want to save me money? Get it back down to $2 a gallon for gas. I'd be real happy with that. But again, with getting the gas for that price, I was really happy. So that was where. So but anyway, again, it just kind of goes to show you really got to freaking kick around. But all these prices, it's being done deliberately. What did you think of Joe's speech on Thursday evening? We'll talk about that, big dog ma. We'll talk about that in a second because I do want to talk about that as well. All right. And there's something that I want to bring up with that bothers me. Okay. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But anyway, the prices are out of control. People are going to be shut off, and the snowball effect of being shut off. A lot of municipalities, if you are not connected to the grid, right? If you have your gas and electric turned off, now your home is going to be condemned because it's deemed not livable because it doesn't have a power source. And so it's a never-ending cycle where you're spinning around this toilet bowl going down, and you have to choose. I mean, I'm sorry, but if I have children and it's pay the electric company or feed my kids are getting fed first. Now, I'm very fortunate my kids are grown, so that makes a big difference as well. All right. But here's the problem. So yeah, it's a catch 22. Exactly. What do you pay? You got to get to work, right? You have to get to work. No, Hella is not pregnant. If she was, if she was pregnant, her due date would be like the 15th, and she's showing no signs of having any puppies. So I do not believe that Hella is pregnant. If she is, she's having like one puppy, and it's a little tiny one. But no, she's not showing any signs of being pregnant. Unfortunately, I was hoping that she would be, but maybe next time. Maybe next time. All right. So we're in a tough spot. We're in an absolutely tough spot. What do we got? 604 in the chat. We're at 210 on the thumbs up. If you guys haven't shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show the support for the channel, and I do appreciate that. It really does make a big difference with the algorithms as well. So the more interaction, the better it is for the channel. So I thank you for doing it for that reason as well. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you ahead of time for that. Really quickly, I want to mention the Legacy freeze-dried food sale that I got going on my website. So if you go to preppernurse1.com, you click on store, it will drop down. You will see Legacy Foods. You click on that, it will take you to the store within the website. To save 20%, you use this discount code end of summer sale 2022. You type that in when you check out, you'll save 20% on your purchase. Okay, so definitely take advantage of that. 25-year shelf life, GMO free, gluten options available for people that need that. It's also vegetarian, but there are beef and chicken options that you can purchase separately. It is also the largest portion size of any of the other freeze-dried food companies, so definitely take advantage of that. Yes, I told Heather to come in. She'll be popping in tonight. All right, so let's talk about speech with Biden the other day, and he's vilifying, Republicans. That's all they got. They got nothing else. Their policies, the Democratic policies, have been a disaster. The economy is going down the toilet. The Fed has said that they will continue to tighten, so they're going to plan on doing another tightening this month as well. And I want you to think about this, guys. So there's I want to make one point first, and I got another point. So there was recently a some drag show that they were doing, that it was kid-friendly drag show someplace, and I don't know where it was, but they had armed Antifa, armed, having their rifles, standing outside of this thing because they didn't want people giving them a hard time about having kids go to this drag friendly show. Here's the thing: is somebody's a drag queen, I could care less. Could care less. Makes no difference to me. Whatever floats your boat, whatever you want to do, it's your own business. I just think that bringing small children to those type of things, I don't think that that's appropriate. That's just my take. I would never bring my children to something like that, but that's my choice. Okay, if somebody wants to bring their kids to that type of thing, that's up to them. Sadly, it was in Texas. Okay, I did not know where it was. Thank you. I appreciate you letting me know. Again, I think that there's an appropriate thing for everybody, and little kids really shouldn't have to see that. They're going to see it, and they're going to make a decision of what they want to do as they get older. Here's my thing: if you are over 18 years of age, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want, as long as you're not hurting anybody else. That's a big thing for me. Two consenting adults. If you want to beat yourself with poodle noodles, have at it. Okay, if that's what gets you off and you have a good time with that, knock yourselves out. Okay, as long as you're not hurting anybody else. So, but anyway, yeah, it's just I did see that, but they had armed Antifa there. Now the problem that I have. Oh, and what do we hear? What do we hear all the time? Oh, this huge insurrection, January 6th. January 6th, this huge insurrection. The Republicans and the MAGA, and they're the ones that are causing all the problems and the dissension, and they're the threat to our society. Correct me if I'm wrong. Leading up to the election, weren't there Democratic Antifa protesters looting cities, burning cities, hurting people, destroying property, going after government officials? I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe I can't see properly. Is that not a threat? Is that not a threat? Months. Portland, Oregon. Months. And we're talking, what, 6 months this crap went on? And when Trump said, I'm going to send in federal forces to quell this crap, these lunatic Democratic mayors and stuff said, no, we don't want them in here. Remember that? So, yeah. So, look, we have somebody come to say hi. And she grabbed Maxie, who was actually on the bed.
Hello, everybody.
I'll take
Oh,
this.
hi. Hello.
I know. Wow, hella surprised that you're here. All right, there's my boy Maxie. So hi, Had.
Hello. Figured I'd stop in and say hello.
Well, that's very nice of you. Yeah, Mr. You can see he fight. He hates this. It's terrible. He's like, wait, why did you stop petting me? Oh, there you are. Okay. Yes, I'm sorry, sir. My apologies. He's such a good cat. He is such a good cat. He is so chill.
Stella is still really tiny for somebody asking who how big she is. She's just a small cat. I think she's
Yeah,
always going to be small.
yeah. She's not gonna be. How long have we had her now?
Over a year now. August was a year.
August was a year. Yeah, she's just a small cat. We got some other like Max is a big boy, but Max ain't missing no meals.
I mean, Stella's not missing any meals either. That
Uh,
sounds really misleading.
right? But she's just a tiny cat.
Yeah.
Well, Max is eating for more than himself.
Mhm.
He's depressed.
Oh, sure.
The lockdowns really just he just couldn't help it, and he put on weight, being locked in the house. He's like, "What are you talking about?" So anyway, so how was your day, Miss Heather?
I'm fine.
All right.
Been rainy here.
Yeah, we had a rainy day today. A rainy day at the homestead. Yes, he enjoys eating. And Miss Soxy is another one that has never said no to a meal. She is definitely. Why are your ears back?
She was being naughty earlier.
No, she wasn't. She's a baby. She is the princess. Heather feels threatened by Hella.
I feel threatened by her.
Yes, for Daddy's favoritism.
Yes, I've seen the movie. For some reason, they like my shirt, but I did get it at a thrift store.
What's the movie?
Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, Silence of the Lambs. Yes, awesome. How do you keep the cats out of your gardens?
I mean, they go around the edges, but they don't mess with anything.
Yeah, they don't generally don't mess around with it. I don't know why. They just don't. Really, Heather is a human. No, Heather's my favorite, guys. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, but Miss Hella is very, very spoiled. So, do you make small enough hats for mitts for toddlers? Somebody's asking that. It's away from society.
I could.
Yeah. If you are interested in that, shoot her an email to her Etsy account and ask her, and you guys can have that conversation. But you're saying yes, you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So
All right. Well, I just wanted to pop in and say hello. I know you were in the middle of something.
I know. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
we were chatting.
All right. Well, I wanted to come in before I forgot.
All right. I love you.
Love you too.
All right. Bye. All right. So yeah, just message her on Etsy. Yep. And there's their website there. Gigi just shoot Heather's website up there. So all right. So let's get back to this thing. I just so you guys know, January 6th, what happened January 6th was absolutely wrong. Uh, you know, should have never happened the way it happened. But there is, I'm going to leave it alone because I don't want to say something where they go, oh, you're spreading false information and now we're going to give you a strike. I'm not going to do that. I have my thoughts on January 6th. If you saw a true takeover of a building, they don't peacefully leave and just leave and go home. They don't stay within the ropes when they're walking through things. You tear everything up. That's just my take on that. When you see looters and rioters go into a store, right? When they go into a store, do they destroy everything in the store? Generally, that's what they do. Yeah, you know. So, yeah, the only unarmed insurgents, yeah, in history. Yes, exactly. Yeah, but yeah, but yeah, what they do when they loot and they steal everything that they can, then they set the building on fire. I don't remember the Capitol building being set on fire. I don't remember that part. I do remember people walking in the ropes and stuff like that. I will tell you this, okay? all the pictures that came out the next day and everything like that, and that guy with his feet up on Pelosi's desk, right? I said, these people do not realize how screwed they are because there's video footage. They have it all there, you know, thinking that we're making a difference. Well, all you did was screw yourselves. One of them, an ex-cop, just got the longest sentence out of anybody. He got 10 years. Okay, 10 years. Now, my question would be, all these people in Portland, all these people in Seattle that did the things that they did, how much time did they get for arson, attacking police officers, beating people up, stealing everything that wasn't nailed down? I wonder how much time they got. But we're gonna make an example. So you got to understand something. This is a game. We all know it's a game. We have to pay attention to these things. You know, it's a double standard. Of course it is. And when you have the media is very, very biased, hard biased to the left. What do you think is going to be pushed out there? I mean, and that's just a reality. I'm not making it. This is not a false statement. The media is very biased left. That is a fact. Okay. Everybody's putting their own spin, their own agenda on things. But again, when you had looting and rioting for months upon months upon months, uh, that was perfectly fine. And well, they were angry and they were upset. You don't think the people January 6th were angry and upset? And there was a whole lot more people than that went into that Capitol building. And a lot of people kept telling them, no, don't go, don't go. I remember when that was happening, and people asked me at that time, Ed, are you going to go down there and participate in January 6th? And I said, absolutely not. If you guys remember, I said, no way, no how. And then people said, why? I said, it's very, very simple to get yourself jammed up in a situation because you are in a location, something happens, and you get caught in with the crowd and you get caught up in that crap. Next thing you know, you're in jail. And guess what? You do absolutely no good to your family. You do no good to your group if you are sitting in a jail cell. You don't do any good to anybody. And so that was one of the reasons why I said there was no way. I'm going to tell you what, I don't like protest, period. That's just me. Okay. If I agree with it or disagree with it, I don't do it because there's so many opportunities that things could go bad. Okay. You know, and so I'm glad I didn't go. I'll give you an example of something else. Angry Prepper. You guys all know Jason. Jason was down there, right? At this time, he was still working for the fire department in New York City. He had FBI come and question him at the precinct. They came and questioned him. So you know what? I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to. I'm already on enough lists. I already know I'm on enough lists. Okay. I don't want to be on that list of, okay, this is a potential person that's going to cause us to, overthrow the government, or he was involved, or any of that kind of stuff. I don't want no part of any of that. No part of that. All right. Even if it's something, like I said, that I agree with. There's all kinds of ways to protest, folks, that you don't have to put yourself in harm's way. That you could get shot. All these type of different things can happen. There's all kinds of ways to protest, you know, that you can do it where you don't have to deal with that. So that's my take on it. And I'm so glad I didn't go. Not that I would have been up there by the Capitol anyway, but there was a lot of stuff that a lot of stuff doesn't add up. Let's just put it like that. You know, we'll leave that one where it's at. But the problem that I have is that it's not the same. It's not the same. So these other idiots can protest and they can set things on fire. They can loot stores. They can destroy businesses. They can beat up people. Whoever they feel that they're angry with. All right. So they're going after those people, but they're never brought up. Why is it? Why? I'm going to give you a great example of something, but why is it when the angry mob of blacks that's angry for whatever reason they're angry for, and they go and they beat up some white people, Why is that not a hate crime? Why is that not a hate crime? I'm just asking questions, okay? Because I don't know what the answers are. Because there's got to be a definition. It's a hate crime against everybody unless you're white. That's how it goes, okay? I'm going to give you an example of something, and this is a true example, okay? White man goes into a black neighborhood and he gets his butt stomped into a mud hole, okay? What they're going to say is, of course, there's not going to be any charge of a hate crime. They're going to say, why were you in that neighborhood? What were you doing there? What were you after? Why were you there? Right? That's what the questioning would go to. But the black man goes out to the white neighborhood and he gets his butt stomped into a mud hole. Oh, you're going to have the NAACP, the civil liberties union. Oh, this is a hate crime. This is horrible. This is terrible. They're not going to question why he was in that neighborhood because he's allowed to go wherever he wants to go. I dated a girl, and this is going way, way, way back. This is early 90s in Rochester, New York. And the neighborhood that she lived in, she was living in a house, and they had several apartments in this house. And so she comes home from work one day, because imagine that she had a job, and she got jumped by three ladies. Okay. And they basically said, what the hell are you doing in our neighborhood? You need to get the hell out of our neighborhood. And if we see you again, we're going to beat the crap out of you. And I think they pushed her around and stuff like that. Guess what she did? She moved. She got the heck out of that neighborhood, right? But that's okay. If she had called the police, guess what they would have done? They would have done nothing. Rochester can be pretty rough. It can be pretty rough. I've lived in Rochester off and on through the years. I never had a problem. I don't know why. I guess because maybe I can take care of my own business. But this is what happens, and this is a reality. And the thing is, and I'm just using this as an example. This is the society that we live in today that we have to deal with. It's a double standard, right? It's the way it is. Everybody's a victim, right? That's they play the victim card constantly. If things don't go your way, you know, then it's not your fault. It's somebody else's fault. So I did my fire training with the city of Rochester back in 1990. Pretty rough back then. Yeah, there's sections of the city that you probably shouldn't go to. I'll just put it like that. I've worked in nursing in some of those areas, and I mean, the drug addiction and the poverty, and just the hopelessness of so many people. Lyle Avenue, that's not the best area, but there's worse. My sister used to live on Lime Street. All right, and all the streets that were named, there was Lime, Orange, all these other ones. That was a pretty rough section of the city. So I remember going over and I would be wearing my scrubs, and I had white scrubs, and I would be walking my niece down to the corner store, and they would be asking me, yo, doctor, man, you need something? You need this? I'm walking, my 5-year-old niece down to the store, and they're hitting me up and see if I want to buy drugs. So it's like, you know, it is what it is, I mean, and it's like, if you're smart enough, you stay out of certain neighborhoods because you know what can happen there. So again, why would you put yourself in a situation where you can have harm come to you? You know, so I've worked, like I said, I did private duty nursing or agency. I think I was doing agency at the time, and I was working in a pretty rough neighborhood. Middle of the day, to give you an example, middle of the day, there was a triple shooting, broad daylight, around the corner. Two of them ended up dead. The other one was injured, and it was a drug deal. It was a drug deal, but that's what happens. And so my thing is always this: why would you stay in that type of neighborhood? Why would you not want to get out of that? That's what I don't understand. I really don't. I really truly don't understand it. Never will. Never will. I mean, I realize it's cheaper to live there, but at what cost? Realistically. So, but anyway, so that's that's all part of that. But let's go back to talking back. We've gone all the way around all these different things now. With what's going on with people not being able to pay their electric bills. The electric bills are going to do nothing but go higher. And winter's coming. It's going to get worse. Garbage plate is awesome. Garbage plate is actually. I went down and had a garbage plate this week. I did. I'm in town. I got to go get me a garbage plate, and so. But that's like the other end of Lyle. Yeah, Lyle can be pretty rough neighborhood, but like I said, I just mind. See, the thing is, I'm going to tell you what the secret is, folks. Okay, and it works for me. I've never had an issue. It's how you carry yourself. All right, I'm not afraid of anybody because my thing is this: you only kill me one time, and if you kill me, then I don't have to pay taxes anymore. It's real simple. That's kind of my mindset. So nobody scares me. I'm not intimidated. I'm going to give anybody their respect, but I go and I take care of my business. I get in, I get out. And that's it. But a lot of it's how you carry yourself. If you're looking like you're scared and you're afraid all the time, you're a victim waiting to happen. But when you're a crazy white boy, they generally leave you alone. That's just that's what I've noticed. I just didn't have problems because they knew I wasn't going to take nobody's crap. But uh, anyway, so that that is that. Or a crazy redhead. Yeah, crazy redheads. Yeah, they generally leave them alone too. Yeah, crazy always gets left alone. Yes, they do. But no, like I said, I treat people with respect. I don't talk down to people. I look them, and here's the other thing. When you're walking by somebody, look them in the eye, look them right in the eye, and be like, hey, how you doing, or what's up, or whatever the case may be. And generally, they realize you're not scared, and they leave you alone. That's just my that's just my take. But cops knocked on my door saying they were looking for a suspect with only one eye. I said, I don't think you'll find him faster if you guys use both eyes. Oh my God, that's funny. JJ, you're a nut. So, but anyway, we got a problem in this country. Huge, huge problem. And I think it's going to do nothing but get worse. Now so what we've talked about. So we've talked about people not being able to afford their gas and electric, right? 1 in 6 families are behind on their gas and electric. We've talked about food prices out of control. It costs a small fortune to go get groceries now. We've talked about heating oil, propane, and those type of things. What we haven't talked about yet, let's throw this in there as well. Let's talk about all the foreclosures. Let's talk about all the evictions that are happening on top of everything else. You have a tremendous amount of people that are in the process right now of being evicted from their homes because 20 million evictions in the next 90 days wouldn't shock me. Wouldn't shock me at all. So you're going to have all these people being evicted. Where are they going? If they're being evicted from apartments because they didn't pay rent, they're not going to be able to get in someplace else because no one's going to give them an apartment to rent because they already know they won't pay the rent. I talked about that couple that I know here. Patty and John, awesome, awesome people, by the way. They had somebody that they're finally being able to evict out of a house that they had where people hadn't paid anything in 2 years. 2 years. And then let's throw this on top of it. Okay, so we have all these evictions happening right now. And what has happened because of these evictions? There was 3 recent things that I can think of just off the top of my head, where the one guy was evicted. He's dying of cancer, so he lost his home. So he goes back. He sets the apartment building on fire. When the people came out of the apartment building, he started shooting them, killed like 3 of them. When the firemen got there to try to put out the fire, he was shooting at them, and the police had to come, and the police ended up killing him, right? That was one example. There was another example where a gentleman was being evicted from his home. The cops came to serve the eviction notice. He set his house on fire and then he shot himself and killed himself. All right. Think about that. How desperate, with nothing left to lose, are some of these folks that this is what they're resorting to. All right. There was another one where the police had come to do the eviction, and the person ended up killing, I think, two of the police officers and wounded a third one. And I think they eventually killed him as well, or he killed himself, one of the two. This is what's happening. These people are like, I got nothing left to lose. I got no more to give. So they're like, screw it. And, it's hard. It's hard. And it's continuing to happen. It's not stopping. And, we're having a lot more of these evictions are coming up, and winter's coming. So again, where are these people going? What are they going to do? And if you are that desperate that you don't care, that's interesting to me. It's like a accumulation of all these things coming together at the same time. And look at crime. Let's talk about crime. How bad crime has gotten because of policies that these insane politicians have put into place. Well, let's talk about Minnesota for a second. Minneapolis, Minnesota, because of their whole defending the or defunding the police. What has been a direct result in that area, right? What's a direct result? Holy crap, crime is up. It's worse than ever. Wow, what a shock. I'm shocked. You get rid of the police, you don't give them the resources, you dehumanize the police, that they're, all a bunch of animals, and that's how people think that they are, and they're treating the police horribly. Zero respect, you know, because of the actions of one individual, because of the actions of one individual, we're going to vilify every police officer out there. All right. Now, don't get me wrong. Things happen, and I get it. Things happen. It's just part of life. But you can't vilify every single police officer. And as a direct result, let's talk about this. So now you guys got me on a roll, and we're going to do egg count in just a second. So give me a minute. We're going to do egg count in just a minute. New York City, we're going to use that as an example, right? Defund the police. The police are crap. They're this, they're that, the other thing. What is a direct result of that? Crime is up. You've had a tremendous amount of officers leave the force, either through retirement or just quitting and going and doing something else because they don't want to deal with the nonsense that they got to deal with anymore. And the fact that they don't have any protection from being sued by people, right? So think about those things. Think about the. They're all. It's all. It's all coming to a head. In people, the average citizen that tries to do the right thing, right? Average Joe citizen goes to work every day, pays their taxes, pays their bills, do all that type of stuff. Uh, how are they handling it, right? Then let's throw this in there. I've got one more to throw in there. So I live in New York, as you guys know. What they did to me last year, they doubled my assessment of my property, doubled my assessment. So I just got my tax bill for the school taxes. It's insane. It's insane, you know. And this is what, and everybody in this area, they did the same thing to people. Either doubled it, $40,000 more. Those people that got only a $40,000 increase, I count them as lucky. So they're saying that your home is now worth this. I almost feel like going down to the town and say, okay, well, listen, if my property's worth this much money, you write me a check and it's yours, right? Take it. You know, it's insanity. It is insanity. But so the year before, they tripled my assessment. Now I was for years, and so I will explain this part of it. So, I've been building up this property for years. Okay. It's taken us 8 years to get to where we're at now. And so what happened was 2 years ago, they realized, holy crap, because some lovely, wonderful people from YouTube land here called the town on me. Thank you guys. I appreciate that part of it too. And so they came out and they're like, holy crap, got a lot of stuff here. So they tripled my assessment. I went from 20,000 to 60,000. Right. That was 2 years ago. So then last year, um, Ed, what percentage for school taxes? Ours are 12.57. I can actually tell you in just a second. Hold on, I will take a look. So this year, let's see. All right, let's see. So these are school taxes. We get school taxes, and is that the right one? Hold on. Nope, that's not the right one. Hold on. I'll get it for you in a second, guys. Hold on a second. All right, here we go. All right, so you said yours was 12 point. All right, let me look and see. Let's see what percentage. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I can see it on here. I'm not seeing what the percentage is, so I apologize. Yeah, I don't know what it is here, but like I said, my taxes are, like I said, they doubled. And so yeah, so that's how New York State is making up any shortfall, is they went out and they doubled everybody's, uh, you know jumped everybody's assessment up ridiculous. So all right, let's do. I know it's like way past egg count time, and I'm sorry. I did not forget the egg count. I got distracted, so it's not my fault. It's your guys' fault. No, it's not. It's my fault. All right, so let's do egg count. So yes or no to thick neck lay, excuse me, lay today, and how many eggs did we have? So I'll give you guys a minute. I'll give you a minute. All right. If you guys had the same exact guess, is Troy McMaster. Same exact guess as Troy McMaster with 5 eggs today and no thick neck. That's 2 days in a row where thick neck is a lazy girl. And so that was the correct answer. So congratulations, Troy. You've won absolutely nothing except bragging rights until the next live stream. So, but it was a rainy, overcast, kind of crappy day, so it doesn't surprise me that there was not, you know, a better output there. But yeah, thick neck was lazy 2 days in a row. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But anyway, so let's put it all together. So with everything that we've talked about tonight, it's a recipe for disaster. Realistically, increase in taxes from the tax-paying people that own property. The obviously increasing. Thick neck's getting up there now. She's getting older, so I don't know exactly how old she is because she was full grown when I got her, and I think I've had her about 4 years now, if I'm not mistaken, something in that range. Yeah, she's one of my older girls. Her and Red's an older girl now too. Uh, so you have the taxpayers are getting hit harder. Number one, right? Increasing all this, you have people, because with the pandemic they realized they didn't have to pay, so they didn't pay, and they had no plan to do anything once they were going to be evicted, because eventually they were going to get evicted. So evictions are going through the roof, which of course you are not hearing about on the news media, because that is not something they want you to hear or talk about. What they will talk about is when Joe Smith was evicted and he shot both of the police officers and then they had to kill him. That's what they'll talk about. but it's a direct result of that. Okay, so you have that. You have crime going through the roof because of these idiots with the defund the police thing, right? How about instead of defunding the police, here's a weird concept. I have these weird thoughts and these weird concepts all the time. How about instead of defunding the police, we give them proper training to be able to de escalate situations, try to bring people down? Now, I'm going to tell you what, I could never, ever be a police officer. I do have a lot of respect for the police from some aspects. Some things that they do, I obviously don't agree with. I've dealt with things personally, right? But anybody that watches this channel knows exactly what I'm talking about. But there's a time to use force and there's a time not to use force. There's a time to use discretion and say, this is not something that we want to do. Trust me. But if we had proper training for a lot of these police officers, that we could teach them, sometimes you have to use force, but you use force until it's taken care of, and you don't put your knee on the back of somebody's neck for 8 or 9 minutes. I don't think that that's a smart thing, especially once they stop moving. Okay, once they stop moving, it's a pretty good sign that you could take your knee off their neck. Just an observation on my part. But you can't get rid of the police. You need the police. They are that, they call it a thin blue line for a reason, folks. All right. They're the ones that are making sure that the real animals don't come out to play. If the police aren't there to protect Joe average citizen who doesn't like guns, who thinks that everything is utopia, if you don't have him there to help you, you're in big trouble. Okay, those people are. There's a lot of us out here. Trouble's going to come and find us. We're going to take care of that trouble all by ourselves. We don't need it. You know what I mean? Now, like I said, I'm going to try to be as peaceful as I possibly can until it's time to not be peaceful anymore. That's my take on things. Don't come bothering me and my family over stupid stuff, and we're not going to have any issues. But so all of you out there that like all police suck. No, all police don't suck. Just like all nurses don't suck. Just like all doctors don't suck. All lawyers don't suck. A lot of lawyers suck, but not all lawyers suck. Okay. Um, in any profession that is out there, any profession is out there. And I love you, Jen. So, you're not one of the bad ones. Any profession out there, you're going to have good and you're going to have bad. And that's just a reality. There's going to be good and bad in every one. Okay. And that's just the way it is. So, but yeah, it's just like vets don't suck. Exactly. Yep, exactly. They should be treated with respect and dignity, is what a lot of them should be, and they're treated like garbage. So, but anyway, you know, um, you have this snowball effect of everything coming together. High prices for heating your home, electricity prices are out of control. You have food prices out of control. You're talking. It's looking like we're going to have food shortages. I mean, it's a real possibility. And if that happens, I'm going to tell you what, uh, all hell will break loose if we have food shortages. Because if the people that got that EBT card can't go get their food, they're going to lose their minds. They're going to lose their minds. So it's all being brought to a head, I believe, for a reason. It's almost like they want it to happen. So let's think about that. What would be a direct result of anarchy? Let's think about that. Everybody's had enough. They're all pissed off. They're all out there and they're protesting and they're tearing things up and they're looting and they're doing this, that, and the other thing. And it don't matter what side you're on, right? Don't matter if you're left or you're right. Um, you know, you have to. People are mad and they're out there. So what are they going to do about it, right? What they want to do, what they will do, and which is what the agenda is, they'll lock you down. Martial law, curfew, 9 o'clock, everybody's in your house or you're going to be arrested, right? And you're going to have these people, I'm going to still go out there. I'm going to still do what I want to do. Yeah. And you're going to be locked up someplace with no due process. Don't go out there and protest, because when martial law is enacted, you have no rights at all, period. Think about that. Think about that. So you play right into their hands. You play right into their hands with doing that. And so I would encourage you guys. I mean, I know a lot of people are pissed off. I'm obviously not happy with a lot of things that are going on in this country right now. I get sick and tired of one side being blamed for all the problems when it's both sides. It's both sides. And the problem that people, which drives me more insane, I'll be honest with you, drives me more insane than anything else, is, well, the right is the right side and the left is the bad side. They both suck. And these freaking politicians are playing a game together. They may get up there and pretend that they're against each other, but at the end of the day, the real puppet masters pulling their strings. Remember this, Prepper Nurse One said this. The real people pulling their strings are the oil companies, the banks, the pharmaceutical companies, the power companies, the insurance companies. There's 5 companies right there. They pull a lot of strings. And these politicians dance whatever way that they're told to dance. Any way that they're told to dance, that's what they do. And that's who runs the country, folks. So if you want to go after somebody, go after the power company. Why is the power company making so much money off the backs of people when things are so tough, right? Why are the oil companies making record profits right now, right? Record profits when people are hurting so bad. Why? Here's a real interesting question. All the shutdowns happen, but Walmart, your big chain grocery stores, your Home Depot, your Lowe's, they were rocking, folks. They were making more money than ever before because they got all the mom and pop businesses shut down. A lot of restaurants went under and are done. They're never coming back. A lot of small businesses are never coming back because they were driven into bankruptcy. Think about that. But who made money? Who made money? You know? No, not Bed Bath and Beyond. Right. Yeah, I saw what happened. He took a header. CFO, Chief Financial Officer, took a header. Yep. Was he a CEO or was he a CFO? CFO, that's what I thought, which is the Chief Financial Officer. Yeah. So, yeah, I saw that he took a header today. I'm sorry, but I'm going to overdose on pills. That's how I'm going out. I'm going to go to sleep and I'm not going to wake up. If I would ever be in that situation, which I don't ever plan on being in that situation. So let's say if all of a sudden you hear Prepper Nurse One committed suicide, no, Prepper Nurse One had help committing suicide because he didn't do it. So that's not even on my agenda ever. So, but you know, crazy, crazy stuff going on, guys. And it's all about, at the end of the day, it's all about control. I wish people would realize that these political parties, they're not running stuff. They're really not. They're really not. So it's big business that runs this country. Why do you think? Why do you think when somebody comes up with something? Okay, so I'm just going to make a statement. I'm going to make a statement. Not going to say it was done by this, that, or the other thing. But I find it interesting that you have a lot of holistic doctors, right, that use holistic medicine. A lot of suicides with holistic doctors. It's kind of crazy. Did they have help? I don't know. But I just think it's really interesting when somebody finds something that works. Man, the next thing you know, they've offed themselves. Terrible. Very depressing, you know. So something to think about. All right. And I'm on a roll tonight again. See, I get these weird things. It's just, and it all kind of, there's nights that it all just comes together. And this happened to be one of those nights. So, congratulations for all of you that are here that got to enjoy this. Wound up. Yeah, well, you know what it is? I look at the big picture a lot of time and I see the manipulation that I think that a lot of people don't see. And it makes me crazy that more people can't see what's going on and what's being done to us. And it bothers me. There's a lot of people out there that believe me are right on board with me. They see everything that I see, and I get it. They do. But yeah, it's insanity. That is for sure. All right. So let's do some shout outs. We have Icky Can first up in Canada. I would ask you to show him some support. Really, really good guy, and so I appreciate you doing that. Let's go with uh, going blank, of course. So we got Icky Can, then we got Angry Prepper down in New York City. Love Jason. I think he's a great guy. You have Alaskan Prepper. Or no, I'm sorry. Yeah, Alaskan Prepper with Rudy. And then you have Alaskan Granny as well. Two really good channels. Definitely go support them as well. You have Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance, two different channels. Really good, both of them are. So definitely show them support as well. I love watching this guy build. He's amazing with what he does and how he does it. Really, really skilled. You also have uh, I'm just going to start because a lot of the ones that I say are right on here. So we got Simple Life Reclaimed. There's East Tennessee Preparedness. You have Marfugal News out on the West Coast with Adam and Dax. Red Poppy Ranch. There's Survival Lily. You have Green Greg's. There is Southern Prepper One. Really like Southern Prepper One. 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. You have Bizarrizza Jizza. There's Doug and Stacy. There is Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband and wife team. Love them as well. I think that they're awesome. New Sends. There is, let's see. Oh, Camping with Steve Wallace. Hey, Mountain Kayaker. That Hitler-esque speech with red light in the background, so disgusting. Yeah, that was like, trying to be very ominous, and like the big threat is, mega. The megas are the big threat. Thank you very much for the donation and the statement. You have Kyle's Cabin, Kyle and Sierra, a really nice young couple. I think that they're awesome. You have Deep South Homestead. You have Corporal's Corner. There's Bjorn Hansen. Pinball Preparedness. You have the Fit Farmer. There is the Nomadic Movement down in Panama. There's the Green Dream Project out in Arizona. I did say camping with Steve Wallace with his camping channel, really good dude as well. Going through a horrible thing right now, and I feel really bad for him. You have going blank here. Oh, Magic Prepper in North Dakota, Wrangle Star with Cody. A lot of really, really good channels. Yeah, he's off for a while. Yeah, he's definitely offline for a while. Yes, his wife passed away. St. Bernard Acres with Joe. Then you have I'm trying to think who am I missing? Probably missing quite a few. I have my long list. There is oh my goodness. I'm trying to think of who I'm not thinking of. North Shore Preparedness. I think I did say him. Monkey Works is another good one. Yep. There's Survival Lily. I don't know if I mentioned her. Oh, Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Love Diamond. I think he's a great channel. Really smart man. So definitely go check him out and pay attention to him. Adapt 2030. Townsend's. Let's see. Patera with the Appalachia Homestead. Yep, that's one that I did. Mary Greeley News is another one. Awesome channel there. A lot of good information with her. Bushcraft Bear from the Canary Islands in La Palma, but now he's in Germany. Somebody said he's living in Germany now. So that's good for him. Uh, but a lot of good channels out there. A lot of good information. I think we should be supporting each other. I think I said Doug and Stacy already. I believe so. I really like their channel as well. So, oh, he's visiting Germany, not living there. Okay, all right. So anyway, Steve Wallace's Camping with Steve. His wife passed away, and so he's taking a little bit of time off. Little House Off Gritty, also in Tennessee. They're a really interesting channel to watch too. They're newer, so definitely give them some support. But yeah, so that's really sad for him. I didn't mention Russell Brand. Oh my God! In the comments that I got about Russell Brand, oh, do you know that he's associated with this or that, and he's a disinformation, blah blah blah. Listen, I like Russell Brand. If you don't like Russell Brand, don't watch Russell Brand. But what I like about Russell Brand is he gives you information, he lets you make your own deduction on it, he makes you think. That's why I like Russell Brand. If you believe it or you don't believe it, totally up to you. I'm not telling you have to do anything. You can do whatever you want to do. But I like Russell Brand. All right. The Prepared Mind, also out there in California. A lot of good information with him. Prepper Princess, another good channel. So, anyway, a lot of good information out there. We should be supporting each other. We are not a great, big, monstrous, huge community. So, we should be not fighting and being nasty to each other. We should be helping each other. So, that's just my take on it. So if you like the channels that I recommend, great. If you don't, then don't watch them. It's really, really simple, you know. So, all right, what do we got? 500 in the chat. We're at 431 on the thumbs up. We got about 10 minutes to go. Let's see if we can hit 500, guys. That's 69 more thumbs up. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. And I thank you ahead of time for that. It really does make a difference with the algorithms as well. So the more interaction that we have, the better it is for the channel. So thank you for that reason as well. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you very much ahead of time. So we are 53 away now, 53 thumbs up away from hitting the goal of 500. So let's see if we can get to that 500 goal before we jump off. I did not mention the Needy Homesteader. Yes, they're another really good channel there. So many people, and this is something that I want to, like the Needy Homesteader. She lost her husband in an automobile accident. She was hurt in that automobile accident. Her children were hurt in that automobile accident. A lot of people going through a lot of things right now. And so, that's one of the things I want to remind people when you get out there in the public and you're dealing with people, and we all have our good days and we all have our bad days. I would just want to say, please try to be kind. Okay. Please try to be kind to each other because we're all going through something. Everybody watching this channel has something going on in their life right now, financially, physically, medically, a death in the family. It takes 2 seconds to be kind to somebody. If somebody's an a-hole, you get out there and you're in public and somebody's an a-hole, kind of realize they might be going through something. And, being an a-hole back doesn't help. It doesn't help. So if you're decent to them and realize that, and guess what? Some people are just a-holes. That's the reality. Okay. So if you see those type of people in your life, just don't engage with them. I have people that I don't care for that I don't have anything to do with. And that's the way I deal with it. I don't hate them. I don't wish bad on them, except for Jane Fonda. And I really don't wish bad on Jane Fonda. Don't get me wrong, but I don't like the woman for a lot of reasons. So anyway, be kind. That's all. It takes 2 seconds to treat people with respect and dignity. That's all. That's all I wanted to say about that. All right. So, but their a-holiness doesn't have an effect on me. There you go. That's the way. That's the way. I don't care if Jane Fonda's old. What she did is inexcusable. Being old now is not an excuse for what she did. So, but that's just my take. Just my take. Okay, we are Legion because we are many. We're all over the country. We're all over the world. We are a huge network of people. Where is everybody from tonight? We have Philip from Melbourne, Australia. Good day, Philip. We have Waterloo, New York, Central Missouri, Inverness, Florida with Clyde. How you doing, buddy? Franklin, Ohio, Southwest Iowa, Northern Georgia, Nowhere, Oklahoma, still my favorite name. We have Connecticut, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Ontario, Canada, Bumstead, Florida, Central Arizona, Texas, Maine, BC, Canada, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Missouri and the Ozarks, Texas, Greenlee County, Arizona, South Dakota, Southwest Florida, Almost Heaven, West Virginia, Providence Village, Texas, Kingsport, Tennessee, Union City, Pennsylvania, Birdsboro, Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C., Ocala, Florida, Dayton, Ohio, Cape Cod, Massachusetts, Lincoln, New Hampshire. We have Michigan in the house, Indiana, Western New York, Fort Worth, Texas, somewhere in the 80K, right, the Adirondacks, Youngstown, Ohio, Chicago, Illinois, Albany, Missouri, Gatlin, Pennsylvania, upstate New York, Bloomberg, Pennsylvania. We have Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, London is in the house, Costa Rica, glad to have you here, glad to join us, North Carolina, Western New York, Uranus, Missouri, I like that, it's interesting, uh, Hamilton, Montana, Maine, Northwest Georgia, Lake East, Ohio, Indiana. We have Wisconsin. Yeah, no, I should get like somebody said romper room. I should get like the mirror with the like nothing in there, and I could hold it up and be like, and we have South Carolina. Like remember, I see Billy and I see Joe and I see Mary and I see Stephanie. Some of you may remember romper room. Those of us that are old enough, romper room was cool. All right, sorry, just putting it out there. Aging myself saying that, but Auburn, California, St. Louis, Missouri, uh, Bakersfield, Alberta, Canada, Southern West Virginia, Allen. Let's see. But anyway, so we're all over the country, folks. We're all over the world. We are a huge, huge network of people. We're the ones that can make a difference now by trying to educate, trying to help people. We are also the ones that can make a difference after an event because we're the ones that are going to be able to teach people to help themselves. I think that's important. If you're new to prepping, what my encouragement to anybody would be is don't be a victim. Oh yeah, Captain Kangaroo, absolutely. Mr. Green Jeans, yep, love them as well. I'll tell you something funny. So Mr. Rogers obviously grew up watching Mr. Rogers. When my kids were little, we're clicking through, and Mr. Rogers was still on when my kids were little, and I was like, "Holy crap! You've got to be kidding me!" My kids were watching the same dude that I watched when I was little, and I thought that that was amazing. And you want to talk about somebody that was an absolute gentleman? Yeah, he was. He was definitely. Mr. Rogers was just a decent human being. And I think he made a huge difference for a lot of kids, which I thought was really, really cool. So that's just, again, that's my take. All right, we're at 479. We need 21 more thumbs up, guys, to hit that magic number of 500 thumbs up. So again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, Howdy Doody, I remember Howdy Doody. Let's get that up there. Again, it really does help with the algorithms. And so I appreciate that as well. So I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping this chat clean. It means a lot to me, and I appreciate the support. It's a lot of fun, and without you guys keeping that chat squared away, it would be much more difficult. So I do appreciate all that you do, ladies and gentlemen, that do that for me. I want to thank all of you guys for being here. It makes a big, big difference for me, and it's really, really cool that you guys support the channel, that you keep coming back, and that we can enjoy these live streams together and have a good chat. I think that's awesome. So I hope my goal is always to make you think, to encourage you, to continue to prep, continue to get ready. I think those are important things. Not being victims, I think, is an important thing, and putting yourself in a position that you can have every advantage that you possibly can be when the time comes. That's my goal. That's always been my goal, and so I appreciate it. So we're 498. We need two more guys, two more thumbs up to get us over, over 500 here, or to 500. So, but anyway, remember, guys, we are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we could figure that one out, we will be in much, much better shape. We have to stop letting them divide us. They use race, religion, political affiliation, the vax, the unvax. None of those things mean anything. They mean nothing. What's important is that we realize how bad we are being manipulated, and we stop it, and we stop them from doing that to us. If we could ever come together, we could accomplish so much. It would be amazing. Also, remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important to tell the people that we care about every day how we feel. And last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from reaching your goals is you. That's it. Nobody else. Stay positive. Stay away from the negativity. You can accomplish anything that you set your mind to. If you set realistic goals, you can accomplish anything. So, that's my biggest thing with that. So we're at 510, so we blew through 500, which is awesome. So I appreciate that. So keep prepping, guys. Keep getting ready. We don't know how much time we got. We really don't. And so just keep doing what you can. Put yourself in the best position that you possibly can be. All right. So anyway, I'm going to jump off of here for now. I hope you all have a great start of your week. Just a real reminder: tomorrow night, Monday night, I will be doing a live stream for hardcore members only. So if you would like to be part of that, you go to my main page here on YouTube. You hit the join button, become a hardcore member, and you can join us in that chat. I do that every Monday for my hardcore members. All right, and that's at 8 o'clock. So I will see you all later. Have a great night. Prepper Nurse One out for now.